So you've embraced minimalism and you're enjoying the benefits of only being surrounded by the things that serve a purpose for you and the things that you love. So should you use the concept of minimalism and apply it to other areas of your life? Maybe you have friendships and relationships, you have too many and you can't keep up with them, or there are certain people in your life who you feel don't share the same ideals that you have. Should you cut, so to speak, those people out of your life just like you have the possessions that weren't serving a purpose for you? No, you shouldn't do that, because you should use things and not people. Love people, use things, okay? So the idea that you could just cut people out of your life should show you that you might be looking at your relationships from a self-centered point of view, okay? So you're looking at these relationships as what they can do for you. You're expecting people to act a certain way, to make you happy, to be entertaining, to make you feel secure, to make you feel more respected, maybe by association with these people. You're looking for these things out of relationships rather than having a kind of connection, unconditional love connection with people, right? So if your relationships aren't making you happy, look at yourself, don't look at the people. And if you're embracing minimalism, then you probably want to stop habits such as gossiping, such as wasting money, excess drinking, shopping as a pastime, those kind of habits. And so if you have friendships that are based around those activities, then those friendships are naturally going to end if your friends are either going to go with you and decide to see past finding themselves in things and these waste of time activities. They're either going to go with you on this journey or they're going to stay doing what they're doing. And you can continue to have a relationship with them. You don't have to completely cut ties with these people. It should happen naturally. If the change is really happening within yourself, then these relationships should naturally fade away if they're not right. So one of the things that I've stopped doing since I embraced minimalism and have kind of changed as a person is I try not to gossip anymore. That doesn't mean I'm perfect all the time, but I try not to talk about people in a negative light, because I can see in myself that this talking about people that way is just it's trying to build myself up to feel like, oh, I don't have these so-called flaws that I'm seeing in this person, and I don't have these issues, so my life is okay, so I'm better than them or whatnot. So that's not how I want to relate to people in life, so I've stopped gossiping. And I did have some friendships that a lot of what we did was gossip. That's a connection we had. And it is a way to connect with people. But it's not a healthy way, and it's kind of, if you want to call it karma, I know that's overused, but when you judge people, it comes back at you. And so you don't want to do that. So if you stop these activities in your life, your friendships are naturally going to change. There's no need to go out and cut people out of your life. This is hasty, and it's going to end up stressing you. It's going to come back at you. And there's certain religious groups that actually shun members or excommunicate members. And this is because it's a very rigid way of thinking. They have expectations for how people ought to act if they're going to be part of this religious group. And if you go outside that, then they're going to not want to have anything to do with you anymore. And so we don't have to be like that. We can be more open-minded about things. We don't have to be so rigid as minimalists The idea is to make space in our life. It's not to set ourselves to the certain ideal and have to stick to it and only associate with people who also stick to it. So I really wanted to make this video because I've heard this talked about a lot, and I've heard people say that they've cut people out of their life and that they've been really lonely. And it's really close to me because I'm just really upset by the idea that we would treat people as we do things. And there's a kind of, the way I like to relate to people, or the way I see as an ideal of how to relate to people, is I believe that there's no such thing as conditional love. That's just that's a selfish clinging to somebody. It's a selfish wanting expectation from having them. So if you see yourself loving someone conditionally, that's not true love. So love is like outside of a romantic relationship I'm talking about. Love should be like the light of the sun. It falls on everyone no matter what kind of awful things they did or what kind of saints they are. It falls on everyone. So this is how I like to relate to people in my life. I try to see past who they are or what they may have done or what they may do for me. Maybe they live their life in a way that disgusts me. I try to see past that. And I don't believe in giving anybody the cold shoulder or shunning anybody. And I also don't believe in attaching so much to people either and expecting things from them. So if you look at the way you're coming at relationships, I think you'll find that your relationships will change for the better. And if you have relationships you're unhappy with, just look at yourself rather than trying to make waves or trying to find a nice way to let someone down. And I think that will be a huge load off your shoulders. And that kind of peace is what we're looking for from minimalism anyway. So leave me a comment if you have done this in your life. Have you ever cut somebody out, and did it make you feel lighter? Or what do you think? Do you think that we can look at our relationships the same way we look at things? Thanks for listening. Bye.